Think positive.
Welcome welcome back to the GHOUL-AMBROSE podcast, GA for short. I'm your host, Prince. This is a space for inner work, self-improvement, self-discovery, mindset, accountability, integrity, reflection, and personal development. This podcast is built for growth, for honesty, and for becoming a better version of yourself one day at a time. New episodes drop every Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Today's episode is called Response is the Answer. Every time. It's not really about what happens to you. People say that all the time, but most don't actually live like it's true. Because the moment something goes wrong, everything shifts. Your mood shifts. Your energy shifts. Your focus shifts. One small thing can throw off your whole day if you let it. But if we're being honest, things are always going to happen. You're going to have off days. You're going to have moments where your mind isn't right. Situations will test you, pull at you, try to get a reaction out of you. That part doesn't stop. So, if that part doesn't stop, why are you letting it control you? Because at the end of the day, it's not what happens, it's how you respond. Every time. Your response is your control, not the situation, not what someone said, not what you saw, or what crossed your mind. Your response. A lot of people give that up without even realizing it. They react off emotion. They react off impulse. They react off habit. Whatever hits them, they just go with it. No pause, no thought, just reaction. In the moment, it feels right. It feels justified. But later, you think different. Later, you realize you didn't have to go that route because it wasn't the situation that made you do it. It was your response. Say that again. It was your response. Every time you respond, you're building something. You're either building discipline or you're feeding the same weakness you've been trying to get rid of. There's no in between. You're either moving forward or you're staying exactly where you've been. And most of the time, it's not even the big moments. It's the small ones. The ones nobody sees. What you do when that thought hits. What you do when that urge hits. What you do when you're tired, irritated, or just not feeling it. That's where everything is decided. Not when it's easy, when it's uncomfortable. A lot of people think they need to be perfect. Like they gotta get it right every single time. That mindset will mess you up. Because the moment you slip, you feel like you lost everything. But that's not real. You're going to have moments where you don't respond the way you should have. That's part of it. But that doesn't mean you failed. It means you adjust. It means you tighten up. It means next time you respond better. Not perfect. Better. Say that again. Not perfect. Better. If there's one thing that will change everything for you, it's this. Pause. Just pause. Because most bad decisions happen fast. No thinking. No awareness, just reaction. And once you react, it's already done. But if you can slow it down, even for a second, you give yourself space. And in that space, you get your control back. That 1 second can save you from a whole cycle, a whole setback, a whole situation you didn't even need to be in. Sometimes the strongest move is not reacting right away. Let's be real for a second. Most of the time, you already know the right response. You're not confused. You feel it. There's always that small voice telling you, don't go there. Move different. Leave that alone. But sometimes you ignore it. Not because you don't know better, but because the other option feels easier. Feels good in the moment. But later, it don't feel the same. So it's not about figuring it out. You already know. It's about choosing it. Feelings will try to run everything. And they're strong too. They're quick. They're loud. They're convincing. They make everything feel urgent, like you gotta react right now. Say something right now. Do something right now. But feelings change. And if you build your life off something that keeps changing, you're going to stay unstable. That's why your response has to be stronger than your feelings. You can feel it, but you don't gotta follow everything you feel. Every time you choose the right response, even in something small, that's a win. And those wins, they matter more than you think because they build momentum, they build discipline, they build trust in yourself. Over time, they stack. You start responding better more often. You start catching yourself quicker. You start feeling more in control. Not because life got easier, but because you got stronger. If you've been in a cycle, responding the same way, over and over again, you're not stuck. You've just been consistent with the wrong response. If you can be consistent in the wrong direction, you can be consistent in the right one too. It's just a shift, not overnight, but over time. This isn't a one-time decision. This is daily, every situation, every moment. You don't just decide once and you're good. You decide again and again and again. And yeah, it takes effort, but that's where the growth is, in those repeated decisions, in those consistent responses. At the end of the day, the answer isn't somewhere else. It's not in waiting for things to get easier. It's not in hoping for the perfect moment. It's in how you respond right now, in this moment, in the next decision you make. That's where everything changes. That's where the shift happens. Every time, your response is the answer. Every time. But it goes deeper than that. If you really pay attention, you can feel it before you respond. That moment right before you do something you already know you shouldn't do. That split second where it's like, yeah, this probably isn't it. But you still go through with it anyway. And that's the moment that matters the most. Not after, not when you reflect. Right there. That's where the decision is actually made. If you can learn to catch that moment, you start changing everything. A lot of the time, you talk yourself into the wrong response. You start negotiating. It's just this once. It's not that serious. I'll fix it later. And in the moment, it sounds valid. It sounds reasonable. But it's not. It's just you trying to justify something you already know isn't right. And every time you do that, you make it easier to do it again. That's how cycles are built. Not by accident, by repeated decisions. A lot of people feel like they're far off, like they have a long way to go, like they're not really changing. But if you're even thinking about your response, if you're even aware of it, you're already ahead of where you used to be. Because before, you weren't even thinking about it. You were just reacting. And now, you're aware. Now, you're catching it. Now you're starting to see the difference. And that matters. It always comes back to this. No matter what happens, no matter what you feel, no matter what situation you're in, what is your response? Because that's the answer. That's always been the answer. Not the situation, not the timing, not what someone else did. Your response. Every time. I hope you found something worth taking with you today. Maybe a new perspective. Maybe a moment to pause and reflect. Thank you for being here and sharing this space with me. Your presence matters. If this resonated with you, share it with someone you care about, because growth spreads through connection. I'll see you next time. Take care of yourself. Stay grounded. And as always, be safe.